Hello everybody and welcome into a cloudy Suzuka International Racing Circuit for another F1 GamerDad iRacing official race broadcast here in the Porsche Cup Fixed series today. We're on a very overcast looking location. Suzuka, obviously the location of the Formula One World Championship race for the Japanese Grand Prix. A storied and historic racing circuit as one of our competitors here goes through 130R, one of the most famous corners in world motorsport. We are about a minute and a half away from gridding up. We've got some of the competitors just finalizing their qualifying laps as we speak. So before we know it, we'll be getting into racing action. And we can see them filtering through here. We'll bring up the splits down the bottom. We've got Szymon Kozak currently sitting P1. Rafael Bonatti sitting P2. If you haven't witnessed an F1 GamerDad official iRacing broadcast race previously, you'll see on the timing tower here we've got the plus minus of iRating. That's what we're playing for in this session. It's not a hosted session. It's not a league race where we're fighting for championship points. It's not a special event. We are fighting for iRating. So you can see some here will be, as Facundo Arduzo sets the timing sheets alight and promptly quits out of the session. Job done. Mic drop style there from Arduzo. Sitting at 1.8k, he stands to make 96 massive iRating gains if he can hold that position through to the checkered flag. So that's what we're racing for today. We will get the grid here very shortly, as we've got a couple of runners still going through to see if they can make their way through, and we've got the checkered flag now through 8 minutes of the session. Okay, it's going to be breathless, this one. This is a shorter session. This is the fixed series for Porsche Cup. And we'll jump into our grid as we get some of the runners forming on the start line. So, Facundo Arduzo taking out pole position from Argentina. Szymon Kozak, and if I get any of these wrong, the pronunciation, please send me a comment. Please let me know. I apologize in advance. We'll try our best here. Rafael Bonatti rounding out the top three. Baptiste Geraldes, P4. Alan Backley, P5. J.J.R. Williams of California, P6. Jose Cravero, P7, David Vasquez, P8, Richie Thorne, P9, Jose Leon, P10, Aaron Osborne, P11, Alperbal, P12, Jean-Mathieu Foisy, P13, Hector Aguirre, P14, Andriotti Giacomo, P15, Francisco R., P16, Vicente R., P17, Robert Williams, P18, Willie Blair, P19, Bruno Mercado, P20, Camille Kubau, P21, Oliver Gomez, P22, Glenn Crosswhite, P23, Ronnie Andreasen, rounding out our grid. We are just about to get underway here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the start lights. Sometimes they don't necessarily show for me here in the broadcast. What I'll do as well is I will take my big head off the broadcast here as we get set for our green light. 12 laps, Suzuka International Circuit. We are just about ready to go. The revs rise, the lights appear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. The lights are out, and we have action on the grid. Drivers jostle for position. P16, Simon Kozak has gone dropped like a stone in the opening couple of corners here. As we see the drivers filter through, we'll try and pick up as many as we can. Make sure everyone gets through cleanly. It looks to be a very clean opening lap. Oh, we're too wide. We're still side by side. Richie Thorne and Osborne there. Thorn getting ahead. It was actually Bell. And they're still side by side. Bell and Thorn. Bell hugs it around the outside, and Thorn gets back through. Osborne actually gets through in that one as well. Nice little battle pack over here. So we go a bit further up the grid. Another 2 wide. David Vasquez gets through Shimon Kozak. Kozak's had a tough opening lap, but gets back to the inside. And we're still side by side through the U. Oh no, we've had someone come through. Bonatti. Oh, that's a terrible rejoin. Oh, Rafael Bonatti. In a hurry to get, and they've towed there as well. That's not something they're going to want to see on the replay. We've got Alan Backley trying to flick spin. And wow, we've got 3 cars off in the pits here on the opening lap. Chaos here in Porsche Cup. We've got the grey livery of Alper Bal chasing down Jean-Mathieu Foissy in the Red Bull livery, coming up to 130R. Single file, which is very sensible at this point in the race. And we'll see Facundo Aduso, our pole sitter, is scampering away to the tune of 3.3 seconds. Sets a 206.285 off the line. 3.3 seconds faster than JJR Williams, sitting in P2 in the American Office satirical Dunder Mifflin livery, which is always great to see. Michael Scott would be very proud. We've got David Vasquez chasing closely behind, about 0.4 of a second back from Williams in P3 to round out the podium places. We are going to skip off momentarily and just see if we can see a couple of these incidents that occurred. So we're following Richie Thorne here. We did see... Ooh! Oh, no. Once you flick these... Oh, no, it's another rejoin! Oh, Richie! Oh, my goodness. How? Oh, this is hard to watch, guys. This is very hard to watch. Let's see what else we can find. Oh, the hits just keep coming, don't they? This is Alper Bal coming through 130. Just going slightly off track. There's not too much there. We'll jump back to live pictures. Oh boy, that was hard to watch. Back on with Jean-Mathieu Foissy here, chasing down Alper Bal for P8. We've got something a little bit further down the grid that we may have a look at in a moment. A few cars going off track. Willie Blair and... Oh, actually, we'll stay with this through 130R as they head into the final chicane. A couple of cars going off track, but I think they're sorting it out. And this is a great battle we're watching here into the slow chicane. Bal has a bit of damage. You can see there on the rear of his 992 Cup car. So Foissy will be looking at that and thinking, you know what, he may be down on a bit of straight line speed. But Bal actually stepping out of line and going for the move on Vicente Blasco. Still up the inside through the first corner and makes it stick. Fantastic move by Alper Bal there to move up into P6. P7, rather. This is probably a great little battle to just keep an eye on here. As we come up through the Esses towards the 2 Degner corners. Degner 1 here. Very tricky corner with the off-camber approach. Degner 2. Foissy is really making it work. He is looking racy in behind Blasco here. So they come into the tight hairpin. Very, very tricky to do in this rear-engine, rear-wheel drive Porsche. Blasco really doing well to keep Foyce at bay here. The cars really do fan out a little bit after the hairpin here at the moment. We're looking now at Robert Williams chasing down Andriotti Giacomo. Great livery, this one. The chrome red and black. Could say the same thing about Giacomo's silver and green livery. Coming up to 130R, the fastest approach on this circuit, and they both make it nicely onto the exit chicane. Coming up to this very tricky final chicane now, which is a bit of a handful in this car as well. And Williams has stayed nice and close. It's exactly where they want to be right now as we head to the first corner. Williams steps to the inside. They're side by side, maybe getting a bit of a side draft here into the first corner. Giacomo just lifts off slightly. Well done. Well played by these two. Keeping it very, very sensible. Very sensible indeed. As they come through the Esses now, we see a lot of good action. We'll ship over to Szymon Kozak, who, as we remember, had a very tough opening lap, but they've got speed. They've absolutely got speed here. Their quickest lap is the second quickest lap of the race. Facundo Arduzo, our leader, has the quickest lap at a 2:03.88. Kozak has our second quickest lap at the moment of a 2:04.17. Oh, down the inside at the hairpin. Have they been seen? They have. Osborne has given plenty of space. No! And Kozak cooking the rears. He had the move done. Osborne had given him all the space. Oh, we're rejoining now, and he's done just about enough there to stay out of the way. Oh, absolute heartbreak for Szymon Kozak, who had done so well to really get back into this one. And he was up into... where was he? That move was for P5. So you can see now, standing to lose around 25 iRating if he remains here. And his rear tyres will be hurting as well. As we can see, Kubo having a bit of a look. Going into 130R now, or stepping out, thinking the better of it, which is very sensible to do. Kojak's going to be struggling on these rear tyres as well, though. The after effects in this car are... oh, he goes for the inside. He's actually making moves still, which... well done. Well done, Szymon Kozak. Just continuing to fight hard despite these constant setbacks that he's experiencing at the moment. We have a couple of nice passes up here for position. Hector Aguirre making a pass on Giacomo. Nice pass on the exit of that chicane. That is no mean feat. That's a really well executed pass there in the slowest section of the track. We've also got Robert Williams making a move on Jean-Mathieu Foyce into the first corner. Looks like there may be a bit of a slowdown there for Foyce. Definitely off pace. As we head back to live pictures, we will jump back on board. Lap 5 now. On board with our race leader, Facundo Arduzo, who is absolutely blitzing the field. His last lap, a 2:04.28. And he's just managing this gap to JJR Williams in P2. 4.5 seconds the gap currently. And just looking in complete control of this one. As he is coming through into 130R. Well, we can see there through the blimp shots, the rest of the field going through... well, not the rest of the field, but some of the field going through the S's in the first sector. So just... absolutely clinical here from Arduzo. Now we can see some of the battles back here. Hector Aguirre looking to get right up onto the back of Jean-Mathieu Foyce, who has just been passed by Robert Williams as well. So potentially a bit of an issue there. Coming through the chicane, takes the inside, gets the move done on Foyce. Yeah, we may be seeing maybe some tyre trouble from Foyce there. Just having a bit of trouble on those tyres to keep the grip up throughout the length of a full lap here at Suzuka. He goes the outside line at the first corner. Yeah, looks to be a bit off the pace here compared to his early running. Got a bit of action here with Ronnie Andreasen in the chicane, just losing the rear. Unfortunate one for Ronnie from Scandinavia. Gets back up onto the track. He's running P19 at the moment. And as a result of... he stands to gain about... stands to lose, rather, about 40 I rating where he's sitting as well. So, bit of a challenging race for Andreasen. Now, Hector Aguirre, that we are having a look at here, who's just passed Jean-Mathieu Foyce, has actually just gone and set the fastest lap of the race. So he is quickest car on track. So going to stay with him for the time being. He is looking at the back of Robert Williams from the UK and Ireland. Really looking racy, Hector Aguirre. He is 1.9k I rated, and he is looking to gain around 28 for his trouble here today, if he stays where he is in P9. So, not a bad day at the office, but judging by his the body language of this car, and we'll ride on board with him through 130R, he looks hungry to make this a much more lucrative race. He's already up five places from where he started in P14. Coming through the chicane now. Got JJ Williams also setting a 2:03 for his personal best lap of the session. Hector will cross the line with a 2:03.655. So again, not his fastest lap of the session, but again, quickest car on track at the moment. But this is where it gets tricky. You start to get into the Esses here. You start to get into the dirty air of the cars in front. You lose a bit of your front downforce. The car does not necessarily want to go where you want it to go. You get a whole load of understeer through the front tires of these 992 Cup cars. They're an absolute delight to drive, but under certain circumstances, they can feel like they're not necessarily translating what you're wanting to do through the wheel. Oh, and we've got some action here, so we might jump away from this as this battle looks to be heating up, but we're going to jump off momentarily as Francisco Justo was engaged in a battle here. Oh, it's a big hit! That is a big hit! Oh, no! Oh, it's car 18, Oliver Aranda Gomez, and car 14, Francisco Justo. Oh boy, that's a nasty one. Absolutely nasty. Probably the biggest hit we've had here today. Both cars off track into the pits. Oh boy, that's heartbreak for those two. And Justo maybe just overcooked it slightly. There'll probably be words in voice chat or in text chat here, I would imagine, because that was a big one. That was definitely a big one. Not what you want to see. And we've got some action here. All three coming together. Aguirre stays off the bumper of Williams and holds it around the outside. Oh, the inside. Williams had a moment there and fortunately kept it on the black stuff. Some really great car control from Robert Williams, but he's lost a lot of ground now. And we've got Vicente Blasco looking out the gearbox towards Hector Aguirre. That is a menacing sight as Aguirre has the fastest lap of the session and is looking to make this pace count. Coming up through the S's, not much you can do through here. There's really one line if you want to maximize your pace. Oh, Hector goes to the outside. We're coming up to Degna 1. And Vicente Blasco keeps it there. We thought, Aguirre holds it. You can't do much through Degna 2. But he takes the inside, gets a brilliant exit as we run up to the hairpin. He goes to cover to make sure that Blasco can't do much about it. Takes the inside safest route through the hairpin and makes that move count. So absolutely brilliant driving here from Hector Aguirre. He's up to P7. He is up 7 places from where he began this race. And now Blasco quite likely will come under fire from Robert Williams now as well. Some brilliant action here up and down the grid. Really, really awesome stuff. We've got an off-track from Bruno Mercado coming into Degna 2. Oh, very hot through there. Brilliant car control from Bruno to keep it on the track and to keep going here. That was really, really quite well done. Bruno is down in P19, but keeps running on. Back to live pictures now with our race leader, Facundo Arduzo. We're on lap 9 of 12, so around about 6 or so minutes to run here in this thrilling and breathless Porsche Cup Fixed session. Arduzo with a 5.2 second buffer to P2, which is JJR Williams in behind. We've got word Ronnie Andreasen has just crashed. I always want to give a lot of airtime to our podium places because these guys are just absolutely blitzing the field. Williams 5.5 seconds back from Arduzo, but you can see in the background David Barbaro Vasquez in this really neat livery. P3, 1.8 seconds back from Williams, and they're running around the same lap times at the moment. So we'll keep tabs on this in case a move is forthcoming. They've then got an enormous 7.2 seconds back to P4, Jose Crevero, and really big fan of this livery too. Looks a bit like the Golf F1 liveries, or well, Golf Porsche liveries as well, you could say, but with a heartbeat along the side of the body and a bit of a paint dripping effect on the roof too. Very cool livery. I'm a big fan of this one, Jose. So if you or your team has created that one, big props to them. Then got Alper Bal, who's had a very eventful race so far, sitting P5, 1.7 seconds back from Crevero. And then we go back to this absolute battle pack, and we've got a move unfolding. Robert Williams has gotten past Vicente Blasco there, up into P8, which we all knew was coming. Hector Aguirre back on their pace now after passing a couple of cars in the previous few laps. Now has set his sights on Aaron Osborne, car 20 in that yellow and green paint scheme. Does Aguirre go for the moves? Doesn't. Into P1, looking to set up his prey and just stalk them through the Esses here. We'll ride on board with Aguirre through the Esses, because this is where he seems to really make big gains. Oh, and he's had to avoid. He's made the move stick. There really was not too much of an option for that one. That was either make the move stick or crash, it looked like. So Hector Aguirre again making his march to the front. He's now up 8 places in this one into P6. He's now got 4.3 seconds to make up to get closer to Alper Bal in P5. Now, while we've been watching this, Ronnie Andreasen, as I alluded to, has had a bit of a moment through 130R, gets onto the curb. We're coming into the chicane now. What has gone on? Oh, it's a very tight line, and he's just missed his braking points. So just overshooting that one by a fair margin, and chooses to reverse his way through and take the chicane as you would. We've then got Camille Cabau in the pink BWT livery going through Degna 1. Misses the exit there. It's just an off track. He's gathered it back up and everything looking all good there. Rafael Bonatti in another Golf livery. Oh, again, it's Degner 1, the culprit. There may be some marbles or some gravel being shot up onto the entry there. There's a few cars having a bit of trouble. We then got Shimon Kozak, who's had... Oh boy, it's been a tough old day for Shimon. Sitting P12, so they are making some ground up. Oh! We've got our race leader, who has been so far untouched, going through turn 1! Oh, drifting through turn 1! Facundo Arduzo! Wow. That was wild. That was absolutely brilliant car control. These 992 Cup cars, if you have a moment like that, it is almost a 95% chance you're looping. Your rear is going to overtake your front wheels, and you're going for a bit of a wild ride and at least a 180 spin. I don't know what kind of witchcraft or wizardry he invoked there, but that was just absolutely amazing to just hold on to that. And he is now hunting down... Who's this in front? It is Bruno Mercado in P19. Unfortunately, it doesn't get much easier for dear Bruno. He is about to be lapped by our race leader, Facundo Arduzo here, who still, despite that moment at turn 1, still has a 6.6 second advantage to JJR Williams, who actually now... And we alluded to this about 2 laps ago when the gap was about 1.8 seconds. David Vasquez is on the charge. He's just done a 204.4 to JJ's 205.09. So the heat is definitely starting to ramp up here on Williams for the second spot on the podium. As we come into the final lap. So... Facundo has just taken the white flag. Then got JJ Williams and David Vasquez following. So can they make something stick here? It's the age-old question. Vasquez looking to gain about 69 iRating. Williams looking to gain 86. I'm sure if you asked them before this session... if they were happy with those gains, and they would have most likely said, absolutely, we'll take it. But if you're driving race cars, you're wanting to race. You're wanting to make moves. So any opportunity you've got there, more than likely, you're going to want to get that move done. We've got a bit of action here in backfield. Aaron Osborne and Robert Williams. Osborne goes through... And we'll watch the rejoin here as he's got a car behind him and he just slots back in. Vicente Blasco has also just overshot the chicane there. We've got a few cars really struggling with their front tires now, it appears. And we've got Alpa Bal making a move for... P4, actually, this one, over Jose Crivero, around the outside at turn 1. No, so what? Oh, and then they go side by side again. No. They're all good. They're all good. So Blasco comes back for that one. Blasco remains in P5. Yes, P5. And... we jump back to our race leader, who is about to come around for the 12th and final time to take the checkered flag, Facundo Arduzo. Good racing, man. Good racing. Bruno Mercado, who was being lapped by the race winner, comes and congratulates Arduzo over the radio. Really brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant stuff. JJR Williams comes home P2. David Vasquez P3. We've got a few battles still to be decided here. So we'll come back here. We've got Blair, Kubau, and Giacomo. Oh, I think, did Giacomo just give that up before the line? No, I think that's all good. No, I think Giacomo actually got off the throttle there and maybe even onto the brake before the line. I think Blair took that one from the Italian. That's amazing presence of mind by Willie Blair. Got anyone else still running? No, we are all wrapped up here. What an extraordinary race. We'll get our race results up momentarily. So we're actually waiting for Bruno Mercado to come through. He gets the moment all to himself. Oh, nice drift from Bruno, who's sitting in P19. That was fantastic car control, Bruno. Well played indeed. Comes home P19. Unfortunately, from 1.9k at the start, he will lose around 55 of that, but that's okay. He's had a great race, and we're all happy to see him here on the grid. Okay, as we bring up our race results, Facundo Arduzo, a clinical win in P1, 7.2 seconds to the good from JJR Williams, who had a great battle at the end there with David Vasquez. They come home 2 and 3 to round out the podium. Jose Crivero, P4, 1/10 of a second in front of Alper Bal in P5. Hector Aguirre, who was our biggest... No, that's not true. He gained 8 places and just had some immense pace. We can only imagine what he would have done from a higher grid slot, but Hector comes home P6. Robert Williams is our biggest gainer in this race, up 11 places from 18th on the grid. Really, really fantastic racecraft from the two of you, Hector and Robert. So Robert comes home P7, Aaron Osborne P8, Vicente Blasco P9, Jean-Mathieu Foissy P10, Shimon Kojak. Boy, what a battle to come back to P11. He lost 9 places after being on the front row. So, considering what happened there, absolutely fantastic job, Kojak, to come back to P11. Well played. And he actually gains iRating still. So, there was about 17 in there for him. So, just congratulations on that comeback and that recovery drive. Willie Blair, P12. Camille Kubau, P13. Jose Leon, P14. Glenn Crosswhite, P15. Ronnie Andreasen, a huge incident during this one. It comes home P16. Andriotti, Giacomo, P17. Oliver Gomez, P18. And we've got Bruno Mercado, P19, Rafael Bonatti, P20, Francisco Justo, P21, Baptiste Girardes, P22, Alan Backley, P23, and Richie Thorne in P24, rounding out our fantastic Porsche Cup race here at Suzuka. Wow, I need to get my breath back after that one. That was some absolutely incredible racing, some incredible battles all over the grid. I've had an absolute blast. I hope you've enjoyed this too. Check out here some of our recent broadcasts if you'd like to see more. As I said at the start, they're all public official race sessions here on iRacing. iRating is what we're after. It's not a hosted session. It's not a league race. It's not a special event. These are the ones that are our bread and butter that we fight for day in, day out to improve that rating or just to have a great time. We see some amazing battles. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. Till next time, keep racing hard.